Hi everyone, just going to do a quick tutorial on how to use reference images, or the way that I sort of use them, and give you a bit of a few tips on how you can use them to help you if you're sculpting a particular thing. So on Quest, I guess you would copy them into the direction if you've got into the directory if you've got them hooked up to a PC with your cable. On PC, you just put them in your documents folder, and under there I think it tells you on Quest where to put them if you click on it. So I've got one reference image here, so I'll bring that one in, so that's in. So I'll just move it over here. I might just create a couple of layers for a start, like I normally do. That one be the eyes. So I'll turn on mirror. About there somewhere. So this is how I do it if you want to get the exact sort of, get a scale about right. Just roughly line it up with the mirror there, not quite, pretty close to it. That'll do. And then you can lock it, which means then if you move it, the image will stay locked to your grid, so you can scale it up, scale it down. So I'll just go back to my default grey that I normally use. And I just pick one leg normally, because you can do the posing, and because it's automatically going to draw the opposite side leg. This is more not for the what am I saying, the build of it. It's just to get the scale right more than anything. So now I can just scale it up to about there. I'll unlock that, and I'll just move that back there because I don't need that now. So now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to bulk up this area inside the outline I've drawn. Sort of try to look at the image and get the bigger bits where a bit more fills where it's needed. So that didn't take long at all, and that's the basic shape. So obviously these are too close to the middle, so but now we'll just tidy it up first. We'll go back to the bulge deflate, our favourite. Oh, okay, we'll swap this to the poly layer, and I'll make that one the eyeballs. So this one, now we're on poly layer, because I just prefer the texture it gives, especially with something like this. So I'm just going to use bulge deflate now to fill in all this and blend it up to the outline I drew. So you sort of almost get rid of the outline by just filling up to it. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you, but this is sort of how fast I normally work, probably. Just get rid of that bit under there. For the sake of a tutorial, I'm probably not going to end up being, I'm trying to go as quick as I can, so it's not too long and drawn out and too boring for you guys to watch. Just to give you the gist of how I use it anyway. A lot of stuff you'll find when you play around with things in different colours and tools, you'll find sometimes something will work, it'll be almost an accident getting it to end up how you want. That's what I usually find anyway for me. Now I've just got to get a bit more shape around this bit here, around his ears. So obviously they're not quite in that spot, so if I just sort of look at that, they're going to be, this is a bit of a rough guess really, but they've got a bit of a, they sort of protrude forward a little bit. Just get rid of those, we don't need that. And oh, this is sometimes something that happens in SculptrVr. I don't know if anyone else has struck it. What happens is the image, you'll sometimes, if you accidentally click on it while you're sculpting, it'll stick to it and there's no way to get it off. So what you do then is just save it, go to a new image and then just reload back in. And I'll go back to my layer, turn the mirror mode back on, and bring up my image again, and we're good to go again. So I'll just do some of the wrinkles around the ears here. And I'll go back to bulge deflate and just deflate these down a little bit, blend them in. Basically just trying to make it look a little bit more wrinkles rather than just a sphere tool that's been overused around there. This is where this sort of thing is so much quicker in SculptrVr than on a 2D screen, I find. That'll do for now. So now we'll just go down here. I'll just bring that image around here so it's on my side of the mirror, because sometimes it gets a bit irritating trying to look through it. And we'll just figure out where his eye is, about here somewhere. I'm just going to scallop out a little bit with the bulge deflate brush. Just on a small scale here just to bring up some folds of skin. Now I'll just flick to the other one because I always like getting the eyeball in fairly short soon after I've got a bit of shape there, because that with an eye there it starts making it look more lifelike, and sort of gives you an indication if you're on the right track with the shape and everything. So that'll do for that. And I'll just go some brown and a bit of, just a slight tinge of brown in there, and some shiny white. Get a little bit of reflection. That'll do. So for now, so we'll go back to the body layer, 1.2. I might put some sort of eyelashes in here. Just using the right thumbstick to vary the size of the sphere as I'm laying material down in there, and just using bulge deflate again to tidy it up. It's a wonderful tool, the old bulge deflate. Right, probably just need to sharpen this up a touch for us looking at that picture. We're sort of going for something similar to that anyway, so I'll just sharpen his eyebrows up a little bit here. And these probably just need to be a little bit more rounded. Probably some folds of skin there too, almost. So what I might do is I'll switch to the that'll make it look like the horn is, one of the horns is protruding out through the skin. And then we'll go for the main one. So we've got it coming down here, so it's got, it looks like it's got a bit of overlaps a bit over his nostrils here, so we'll just undermine that a little bit with the deflate, carve it out a little bit there and bring it down into here for some wrinkles. And we'll probably got a little bit much on the front there, but we'll just narrow it up a little bit so it's not quite so round. Remember we were just going off the outline before, so I'll probably just laid a bit too much material in there to start with, so I'll just get rid of some of that. And then I'll just do a few more grooves, but these are quite pronounced wrinkles by the look of it in the folds in the skin, so I'll just might do these with the puck tool. There's sort of no really right way or wrong way of doing it, it's just what works for you and your style of whatever you're doing. But with a bit of practice you can pretty much draw anything you want once you get familiar with what you're trying to do, because it's just so easy using your hands in this app. Probably a little bit too fake, the wrinkles there, it's a little bit too symmetrical, so I'll just run the smooth brush over that now just to try and make it look a bit more natural. Still not quite looking how I want, but it's not too bad. I'll leave it for now. So we've got to do, looking at that, there's quite a large nostril through here, so we'll just bring that up. And that comes down here somewhere like this. And obviously it's got a hollow in it somewhere, so I'll just go back to bulge deflate now and we'll tidy all this up and get it looking sort of like it should. Something like this. Might need to get the puck tool on here to do some of the just some of the wrinkles coming out of it. And this is where I just love SculptrVr, because you can get right in to do this sort of detail. You can imagine if you're trying to sculpt this in reality, in real life, you know, and you're making it say this size compared to your hands, doing the fine details must be so hard. This just makes it so much easier getting in there. You can pretty much make it whatever scale you want, really. I'm just going through here and just doing just some detailing. I'm not getting too carried away because I'm trying to keep this tutorial down not too long. I don't want to go for hours or anything. So we've got a mouth coming in here somewhere too, so we'll just get that underway. It'll be somewhere through here. This will be enough for now anyway. I'll bring this around here. Maybe we'll use the puck tool actually just to sharpen this up a little bit, otherwise it's going to look too soft. It needs to be quite pronounced. Now we'll use the bulge deflate again just to round those edges off again. And it looks like we're going to need to use the puck again down around the mouth and the nose just to get some of these wrinkles in here. Get some of these neck wrinkles going. A bit of a shoulder one there and the folds in the skin. And just go back to bulge to flat. Oh, actually I might try smooth just here, just to ease them out a bit so they're not quite looking like a brush has done them. Might do a couple more around his ears, I think. Now we'll concentrate on the middle part, and then we'll just finish off with the legs. And that'll probably do the sculpt for now. So we just want to get his chest and belly looking about right. It's got a bit of a sharp spot there, which is sort of lost now that I've done the... It's probably his hip, so I'll just carve a little bit out between them. And if you can see in the photo, you can just see the ribs showing through, so we'll just use the deflate tool. And I'll just do a couple of lines just so they sort of show up, but not too prominently, because this one can be a well-fed rhino. Well, actually, that's looking a little bit skinny, but I'll smooth those out a bit. But they're still very slightly there. Smooth them off a bit. That'll do. So now we'll come down to his front leg here. He's got obviously quite a big roll of skin there, so that'll blend back in about there. I'll just blend that across there and down there. Bring that in underneath there. He's got a bit of a knee joint there or something. Bring it out this way a bit because it looks like it comes outwards a little bit, and then it looks like he's got his little toenails, his paws. Just shaping them mostly with the bulge deflate tool again. And just using the bulge deflate to just, the puck tool, sorry, just to add a bit of a skin to where the nails actually stick out from the foot. Just sort of winging it a bit here because I haven't actually done the research beforehand to learn exactly what their feet look like. That's easy enough to do if you're wanting to do a really good one. I'm just trying to show you how quick you can do something. Yeah, we'll just run a few wrinkles around the back of his leg here. And we'll just smooth those off. That'll do for now on those ones. Now we'll get his back legs looking pretty right for a bit. I'll bring that muscle down there. And that sort of comes into his knee joint. We just need to get rid of all the stuff in between his legs here. Just finish smoothing this off because I hadn't got that far. I'll do his tail at the end actually because I won't need mirror mode on for that. And then we'll just finish getting some more muscle shape into his back legs here. And I'll just bring it around a little bit because I need to see his back leg here so he So I've got a bit of a fold of skin coming through here somewhere, and then it comes out to a bit of an elbow, knee joint or something. Just smooth some of that off. Just narrow this little piece up a little bit. I'll bulge this knee joint a little bit there. Chew in a little bit there. And what you can do, which is sometimes quickest to do if you don't want to, or if you've already done one good foot and you want to get it the same for the rest of the feet, just go to max and snap copy, so it's the same. And that way then you've got the same foot and you can just modify it to suit. So that's where the stamp tools comes in handy. So you only have to do one detail, high detail foot or a arm or a leg or something, and then you just sort of just adjust it to suit. So now if I turn off mirror mode, I'm just going to give him a tail. And just blend that a little bit. And it looks like it's got little ridges over it, so or segments, bones, see where the bones joints are. So we'll just using the bulge deflate brush to do those. Looking like just trying to get this bit up here, not too far off. I just might shift it a little bit. I'm getting picky now, though. I probably don't need to be. And that'll do it for now. I mean, and if you want to change his leg style around, obviously you can just select the stamp, copy it, and then delete one leg. And so I'll do it just as an example. We'll just give him a different pose for his front leg here. So, and then I'll colour him, and then that'll be it, I think. So we'll go to exact snap. So that's his front leg here. I'll just get rid of that little bit. We don't need that. So I'm using bulge deflate to edit the stamp. Now I'm just going to delete that leg there. Or an exact snap, so that's the same exact size. But we don't want to be an exact snap because I want to change its position just a little bit. So I'm going to put that about there. Now I'm going to delete it up to the knee joint. Now I'm going to delete that one to the knee joint, and then I'm going to just position that one like that. Now I get bulge deflate, and I'm just going to get in there and smooth this out now, tidy this all up, blend it back into the existing. It's not too bad. I could spend a bit more time on the wrinkles and things to make it if I was going to print it out or something. Just smooth these ones off underneath. Went a bit overboard on the smoothing there because it wasn't showing up, that's alright. Now I'll just give them a bit of colour. Cone paintbrush, and we'll just do a little bit of where the shadowing is underneath his legs and stomach. And I'll just turn the mirror back on briefly because I don't think this is quite sharp enough for this fold of skin up through here. Now I'll just use deflate on one side and bulge on the other, and I think that's come up a bit better. So now we'll go back to darker grey, just smattering across the sides there. Down under his chin. I mean, you could really spend a couple of hours probably and go through and make all the little wrinkles, and that would just set it apart with all the extra detail that you could add to it. But this is just a quick demonstration really. So I'll get dark grey again. I'll just get a little bit more around his face here. Looks like the toenails are, well, they're not quite white, but they're a little bit lighter, depending on what he's been walking through. Now I'll just check on another layer. Turn the mirrors off. And we'll get some Savannah colour. We'll put them on a bit of a background before we finish the sculpt. Now we'll get back to bulge deflate. We'll start raising this up a little bit to meet his feet. We can actually get rid of that now because we don't need that. I'm just going to wing the background here. I'll just make it slightly greener here for some grass he's eating. That should do. Just the puck tool's good for doing quick vegetation. Still a bit of a shadow into the ground for him, just like it has sort of shadowing on PC, but it's always good just painting your own shadow in. So that's that part of it. What else was I going to do? I'll just do a quick tree as well, just so he's got a bit of shade. So this is just, again, I'm just using the puck tool here. And I'll just use the bulge deflate brush over it just to blend the branches in and just smooth out some of those puck shapes to it, and just deflate some of the ends so they're not completely like they've been chainsawed off. And then I'll get some green for the tree, so we'll go to green. It's probably not quite the green I'm after, something a bit more yellowish in it. Yeah, that'll do. And go back to the puck tool. Just use a little bit of deflate, so just to lose some of that uniform puck shape in amongst the leaves. And go back to the green. smattering of lighter colour over it, and just a little bit of black as well, just to break it up. And I'll go back to some light brown and just put a little light brown up the branches here. Maybe I'll just chuck a little bit of grass around the base of the tree. Oh, wrong one. There's the puck tool there. So there you go. If you do something like that, you'll be well on your way to starting a full African safari scene in SculptrVr. I hope that gave you a few insights as to how I do some of my sculpts, and I'll catch you on the next one. If you got any questions, and if you're in any particular tutorials on anything in SculptrVr, feel free to just leave a message in the comments or whatever, and I'll do my best to help out where I can. Thanks, I'll see you around.